So a couple of weeks ago, I had an opportunity to do a group ride sponsored by the Catonsville Rails to Trails organization and Catonsville Bike Shop. We start from our neighborhood in Catonsville and we go down to Fort McHenry. If you're not familiar with Baltimore history, that is the fort where the Star-Spangled Banner was written by Francis Scott Key. And they do this every Independence Day, at least pre-COVID. I don't know if this is the first one since COVID or the second one. The first time I did this was, I think, 2019, and it was a lot of fun. It was hot. It was hot on this day too. July around here is always hot. And here it was interesting because it had rained the night before, and the wood on these bridges, with just being a little wet and kind of having a little bit of a mossy growth to it, they were slippery as can be. The road bikers, it was like they were riding on ice and they had to get off and walk. I think I was able to ride over one of them without having to get off, just because I had some wider tires. We use some of the city trail paths and bike paths to get down there. We also get around on some of the roads as well. It was interesting because I don't get down into the city that much anymore these days. So it was good to get down, see the sights. It was a beautiful day. We're actually going to ride by the stadium in a second, and we're going to do a stop first at Federal Hill before we get to the fort, which has got a nice scenic overlook of the city. If you like this kind of content, please consider hitting the like button. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing. We usually make mountain bike videos geared towards the newer rider or people slightly older in age like myself that are just getting out to do some exercise and have some fun. And we ride some trails. We talk about fitness. We talk about trail riding techniques. We feature some of the trails that we ride on. So if you like that, please consider subscribing. Here we are at Federal Hill. We actually got here in pretty good time, and it's still pretty early in the morning, so it was just a beautiful morning. It wasn't too hot yet, and it wasn't, you guys, you can see there's not a whole lot of people out and about, so it just made for like just a good panoramic view of the city. And now we're going to head off to the fort. This was me trying to keep up with the roadies. I hung with them for a while, but then they got away from me. People were kind of straggling in at all different times, taking different paces to get there. So I had been there for a little while before this group came in. And then just kind of took a tour around. After I got some good footage, I decided to head back just because there was a lot of stuff that I had to do that day since it was the holiday. And going back is a little bit more difficult than getting down there because it's practically all downhill getting to there because we're heading towards sea level, and now we have to climb back into my neighborhood, which isn't nearly as fun. But it is what it is, and we did it, and it was great. It was an awesome day overall. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.